Going live now.
Didn't we talk about getting some sort of like Poke Factor logo being made somewhere at some point in time? Didn't we have like,
Yeah, we.
a leather coaster? I'll take a picture of those leather coasters. We could just use that as a backdrop.
I would
Yeah.
actually, I would really like that. Yeah, because I keep losing the PDFs for everything else, which is just super responsible of me. But
That's what happens when you have 17 windows open at the same time.
wow,
That's adorable.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta pop
I was
those
going to
numbers
say,
up.
it's like 47 or more.
Or more.
Well then, well,
Losing stuff again. Again, see. No, not again. Still. Joe's losing stuff. Still, he hasn't stopped.
it's a continuous loss situation. By that, I mean we all lose. We all lose.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm certainly feeling the loss.
Is this loss?
I'm pretty sure I'm just going to mourn the loss with some beer here. Let's.
Hey,
So
Fella
you,
sounds pretty good right about now, actually. What's
You're
that?
not
Fella?
live yet, are you?
Black Frost, Dick Richards, Infinite.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
I wasn't getting the link on my end, so I
Oh,
Well, do better next time, Paul. I mean,
no.
I made it public and everything.
what are you
Yeah.
trying to do? Be a Joe? We can't handle that much loss, dude. Like,
Can't
it's...
handle two of me. We're coping with one, but goddamn.
We are coping with one.
Someone needs to be the host around here. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh man, my hands are just falling apart.
I don't like the way those words sounded together, I'm going to be honest with you.
That's fair. I don't
What,
like
As a
his
sentence,
hands falling apart?
yeah. It doesn't bring, like, pleasant visuals to mind.
like just heaps of skin just sloughing
Well,
off.
okay, stop talking. Just we're a knife channel, goddammit. This is going to be reposted on the internet. Jeez, like,
I was going to say ashes, but, you know.
Oh, like the Thanos snap, or it just kind of
Yeah,
fade away.
but just
Oh, that's so
away.
much more clean. It's such a clean and simple way to disappear.
yeah, it's made by Disney.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, we discovered that we could watch more American Horror Story because I'm going back and rewatching some of those old ones. Yeah, they're on Disney now. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
murder brought to you by Disney. So,
They're what part is it? Is it Star that they bought up? That
They bought up Stars?
yes, the ambulance company. That's right.
No, no.
It's-
No, wasn't Stars the publishing company who did Spartacus? Or am I thinking who was that?
Star, just one star. STAR.
Okay, I thought it was Stars multiple.
Anyway, Ben, thanks for joining us as well.
Indeed.
Who's carrying what? Come
Oh,
on.
yeah,
Come
probably.
on.
Here, my photos
Both,
not nearly
both
as
for
nice, so just
both
gonna
for
do-
the audience and us. But yeah, Paul, Joe.
Yeah,
Sorry.
my photo's not quite as nice because I forgot to take it earlier and then it was dark. So yeah, but it was the military. I actually
Yeah.
used it a decent amount today, so I felt it needed a picture.
Happy time change. It's
Yeah,
dark
Yeah.
by 4. That's not a terrible picture.
for being low light, I was kind of happy with it.
Yeah.
Turned out all right.
And S110 because it's delicious. Burr, burr, burr.
Sorry, I'm just giggling at Ben carrying a bag of super nibs.
Super.
Ready for entertainment, and he came here of all places.
I mean, that's got to
Mhm.
say something. We got to be doing something almost correct, right?
Hopefully.
Well, he's ready for it. It's kind of like a shooting star. I mean, you might sit out all night. It's
So you're saying you like
there might be fireworks. You never know. We're along for the ride.
if you if you blink, you might miss it, kind of thing. Yeah,
Probably, yeah. It's
that's too bad.
you can go back and rewatch it live. Pause the moment that you thought. Anyway.
Pause the moment.
How about Paul's moment? What Paul carry?
What am I carrying?
Yeah.
I'm carrying a PPT by
Sure are.
Spyderco.
Hey, 2 Spydercos.
A sprint runny version. In S90 and carbon fiber.
Yeah, she fancy.
Yeah, she pretty.
Mhm.
That pattern in carbon fiber is delightful, for the record.
Oh,
It really shows up.
the surface milling?
Yeah, it really shows up the weave nicely.
I was gonna say, I think they use a pretty standard weave, but because it's such an irregular pattern, you get to see all kinds of different facets and angles. It's a nice way to do it for sure. They did that on a number of different models, but I think the PPT is probably the place that looks the best. And that's even like the Zulu with the G10. I think it still looks good, but
yeah,
the PPT looks way better.
Just for the record, Paul and Dick Richards are matching. He's also got a Perrin Bowie, so go Fred Perrin. Go Fred Perrin.
Hell yeah.
Who's the other P and the T over here?
I used to know it. Tals, Thailes is the T, and then I forget what the
Is his name Pedrick?
But the best part of it is the texture on this knife. They specifically refer to being skid free, which I think is the worst way to describe any.
I'm sorry, what?
Skid free texture.
As opposed to all the other knives we make. This one's skid free. Don't want to touch the other ones for too long.
Like, that's something you expect to see on like a package of underwear.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of, eh?
New, skid free from factory.
Stanson 357, thanks for joining us. Yeah, good to be back on the regular setup. The hotel was not good for what I've got here. It's good.
No.
Makes me happy.
So I did go to the Spyderco website. So it's Fred Perrin, Philippe Perotti, and Sasha Thiel.
Cool. Thiel. I wasn't even right on the last name.
It should be PPPT. By that.
Well, no, it should be FPPPST.
Look, man.
Which is just a disaster.
It's a disaster.
Yeah, because we got some CRKT billboarding up in the house all of a sudden. It's just.
Hey,
is this a new company name?
Spyderco's rebranding. I'm sure you've noticed, but the last couple of new models have been like super tiny text, and it's not the name of the knife anymore. It's just the designer, and it's really small. And I hope they keep that up because that's kind of cool. That's nicer to look at.
Yeah, she is nicer to look at.
Not what I was talking about, but that's totally cool. It's totally cool.
No, I know. I'm just messing with it.
And they do call it the flat ground Bowie shaped blade. That's a bit of a stretch. I've never seen a Bowie with like such a low tip.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's the Barney blade.
I'm sorry. They're calling that a Bowie?
Yeah, they sure are.
Yeah.
You know, Bowie.
I don't like the Barney, but it's definitely a Barney blade.
It's not a bad blade. It's just categorically that is incorrect.
It's a modified Warren Bowie.
And Ben's mentioning the fact that it's good old carbon fiber. And yeah, Spyderco does like to use carbon fiber sometimes, but this is actually legit stuff on this one, I believe.
Yes.
All the way through.
I think I only have like 2, maybe 3 Spydercos that have actual like full billet carbon fiber for the handles.
I do like their peel ply.
Yeah, it's all right.
It doesn't look bad, but
yeah,
figure for the money you're paying, you might
I said they like their peel ply.
Oh, they like. I see.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't mind either.
It also depends on which version of the peel ply, because like the peel ply you find on the Smock is different than the stuff you find in the GB2 is different than the stuff you find, right? Like it's all kind of different.
The thing that I like, and the Smock is a great example of it, is by having that 2-layered texture of the G10 and the carbon fiber. By doing chamfering and stuff like that, you can show off both surfaces. And I think if you're making it a feature rather than just trying to hide the fact that it's not carbon fiber all the way through, I don't mind the product.
Yeah. Actually, not a Spyderco, but the shoot, I think it was the Kershaw Atmos. I think did a really good job of that, where they mill right through the top layer of carbon fiber to show off the G10 underneath. They did versions in blue, and I always thought that was the best looking version out of the bunch. See the blue pop through the
Yeah, there was a desert
cool.
tan one as well as a green one as well as a black one. Yes, yeah. They did a bunch of Atmos. Yeah. And yeah, definitely not a Bowie blade. It needs, but apparently everything that Fred Barron designs is, they just put the name Bowie on it. And like, sell it to the people.
It's part of his contract. We can't say no. What about you, Dennis? What are you carrying?
I just realized we're all carrying Spydercos today. We're not even talking about Spyderco. This is freaking ridiculous. But yeah, I have fun with it. I'm carrying a Techno too.
Nice.
I was hoping you were carrying a Spyderco.
So yeah, super weird because I don't think there's anything big to talk about with Spyderco other than the fact that there's nothing to talk about from Spyderco.
What are you talking about? There's so many new exclusives.
Yeah, let Canada have a crew wear my Carta without ordering it from across the border. Yeah, so
man,
that'd be nice.
Are anyone taking bets on how long it's gonna take before Canadian orders are filled? Like,
I bet you it'll be a couple weeks. They like to tease us on that shit. And 2 to 3 weeks out, all of a sudden we'll have it as well. But
yeah, it's gonna be hard to say no, man. Like,
yeah. Hashtag bitches love leaves. It hasn't snowed here yet. Well, it did, but it melted, and there's still leaves to be had. So yeah,
still leaves to be had.
Yeah,
have those leaves. Have them, Dennis.
Have them, keep them, slip them between the scales of your super freak.
Yeah. And yeah, you can't patent a hole, but I mean, you can sure get it out of the way so it doesn't get in my way when I'm sharpening. That's for sure. That was almost a sentence. Let's roll with it.
Yeah,
there's
why not?
Space there for some zip ties for a quick opening too. So.
See, another reason that the zip tie is just getting all of a sudden. You know what this easy sharpening knife needs? A thumb stud to get in the way. let's add one.
Okay,
I want to start a hashtag where people go around and zip tie people's Spyderco knives shut.
That's mean, but kind of funny actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet like 2/3 of the guys who have Spydercos are just gonna like angrily pop out a second smaller knife to take the zip tie off.
I just want to carry zip ties in my back pocket. So whenever you're just like talking to a knife guy and hey, what are you carrying? And he pops out a Spyderco, you're like, hey, can I see that for a second? And just zip tie it and hand it back to him. Just for that rare occasion that it comes up.
Dude.
Because all of a sudden I'm the most funny, but also the biggest asshole in the world. Like,
honestly, that's my goal in life.
Dennis,
to be a funny asshole.
If we ever get down to Blade Show, you know that we're gonna have to do that to people at the show.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not too far of like it's just something that occurred to me. Do either of you two find it weird that the Demco knives 80/20, the 20.5, and the compact that's going to be coming out soon? Do you find it weird that they have a hole and ambi thumb studs? Like that head tilt was exactly my reaction when I realized, oh, it does have both those things.
Options,
sure, but the hole is perfectly accessible. I mean, you got it right there. And it doesn't like get in the path of the blade that badly, but it sure is there.
Okay, one of the things with that knife too is like the ultimate fidget ability. Every time you see someone have that knife, it's a shunk, 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 shunk because of how fun it is to play with, right? Yeah. So jumping on the bandwagon of how fun is that to play with, add everything. Let's just add everything.
Huh.
It's just something I didn't clock.
I didn't realize that.
Right? It's something I didn't clock until I don't know how many like weeks ago, and then I periodically remember. But that seemed like a good time to bring it up. It's not as weird as Spyderco adding the weird Cobra hood to keep your thumb in place on the I can't remember what the name of that knife is now. Shoot, not the Pits folder.
There's also the ATR. There's a couple that have
ATR.
The hood
That's the one I was thinking of, yeah.
Is this terribly different from your Vero having the notch in the back of the blade so you can Spidey flick it?
It is a little bit different. It is just only a little, because normally, like, if you have an option in addition to a flipper tab, it's usually like you have a flipper tab and you have a hole, or you have a flipper tab and you have a thumb stud, or you have a flipper tab and you have a front flipper. It's not usually like. Also, it's either a hole or a thumb stud. I can't think of another example offhand that uses both. As I'm saying that, there was a Viper. No, sorry, not a Viper knives. It was a. Oh, we talked about it several episodes ago now, but it was a Kaiser knife that was white and black. The Cormorant, I think. That one had a smock style flipper, but it had an opening hole as well. I'm trying to think. Did it have a? No, it was just the opening hole.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Nope.
Anyway, no.
I don't track it.
Well, the best part is with that knife is that everybody's going to just use the lock anyways. You're just going to pull the lock, hook it open,
Snap it out.
Yeah.
Supposedly it has
as
really
if you're
nice...
not going to pinky flick it open just because you're that type of person.
Oh, no. We're going to do this thing where you do the with your index over the front.
Can
that's
you
weird.
Pinky open the shark lock and drop it?
I can't do it on the PPT. It's not in the right position.
Shark lock. Shoot. Or the scorpion lock, maybe, but I don't have a shark lock to test.
You're gonna cut your fingers.
I was just gonna say
live television.
As soon as I held it, I'm like, no, that's that's not happening. Not today. Not today.
That's how you lose all your fingies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they'll stop thinking.
Yeah, so knives, you say.
Yeah.
Knife topics. Something. Dark side.
Something complete. I have a small topic that probably won't take that long if we want to start there.
All right. Fire away, my friend. Fire away.
Civivi had a recent new announcement / reveal /
revealsment?
Something like that, yeah. It's the Crit. It's this little top back flippery doodad multi-tool with a little line cutter, screwdriver, ruler, hex wrench, bottle opener combo tool on the back end of a Nitro V steel blade.
Yeah, we'll see about that month. Anyway.
See,
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. Vivi.
Yeah, so that's just it. They under-delivered on a lot of models saying they were going to be Nitro V. Big question for me, is this going to be Nitro V? And if it is, I'm kind of interested in getting one. I think that would be an interesting platform.
Is it weird that I immediately want to just grind off the multi-tool except for the can or the bottle opener and be done with it?
That's not weird at all, but I wonder how well that would flip. And honestly, I think having the full bladed tool there actually isn't the worst thing in the world. You could use that as a little pry bar, I think, right? At the very least. Am I? That's weird. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
By that he means your back pocket carry, but we already knew that, right? So it's yeah.
I don't know. Actually, I've thought about carrying that little Claris keyboard, little pry bar thing a bit more, but I already have the Leatherman, so it seems like real overkill at that point.
I don't know why I feel so strongly about it, but I hate the hex wrench tools.
Because it feels gimmicky as shit. It
Yeah.
seems gimmicky as shit. That's kind of what I thought too.
I don't mind the line cutter and the screwdriver and the bottle opener. All those things are great, but I feel like that hokey shit is just something I don't care for.
So if they were to keep the full-sized secondary tool, what would you rather see in there? Rather than use those hex bits, what kind of tools would you rather implement?
I don't know, man. My only other foray in multi-tools is this thing.
Not the Surge, but
yeah,
I know what you mean.
That's terrible, but
I mean this style of
yeah, of hokey bullshit. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's a hell of a ninja star, but
yep.
Hashtag not a ninja star.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
And and I'm not sure about the name either. The crit.
It's a critical hit, man.
There's
Play
no
more
sort
video.
of description on why they named it that. It's none of
No.
your business. You just have to run with it. Yeah.
I wonder about that. I wonder if there's do they say anything about it on Blade HQ maybe?
I don't know. You're the
All right.
one with this topic. Come on.
Yeah. No,
The multi-tool is 9CR18. So even the hook itself will keep a decent edge. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I honestly, when you were talking about what would you like more, I would just like them to fill it in and just let it be a ruler and a seatbelt cutter and a pry bar bottle opener thing and not worry about the hexy shit in the middle and just fill that shit in. Yeah.
I would be
Well,
fine
that's
with that.
strength in it.
There's nothing in the description, by the way, that talks about why they called it what they did. But for me, a big part of it, honestly, is the profile. It's a nice, skinny little blade. It reminds me of a small, thin, like generally traditional type knife. Obviously, this
It
is a
reminds me of
liner
that-
lock,
that
but
Boker.
sorry.
So it reminds me of that Boker, the Urban Trapper or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Similar. It's over a 3-inch blade, so it's bigger than you think it is, type of thing. 3.2 for the blade length. So
Yeah.
this is not small penknife-y type of thing. It's
Bigger than
yeah.
my angst.
Yeah. It's not as wide, obviously, but that sort of length. So I mean, that's a pretty decent size little tool for sure.
Yeah.
I
Is there a glass breaker on it? Like, can you use it as a rescue tool?
They don't say anything about a glass breaker here. No, I think in one of these photos here, you're seeing the tang of the blade there, so it almost looks like it's a glass breaker.
Yeah.
There is several pictures actually on Sabibi's website as well,
Yeah.
which doesn't have competitive pricing, but do what we want to do.
It's ever so slightly off topic, but I'm not exactly sure what Dick Richards is talking about, saying gentlemen carry XL Espada. But what I imagined in my head was the polished aluminum and polished G10 Espada just being referred to as the gentleman carry.
Yes.
And I like that image in my head.
That is correct, sir.
This is my gentlemanly carry, and it's how big
It's my
is
wedding knife.
how big is the belt buckle to go hand in hand with that gentlemanly carry?
Big enough
That's
big enough to completely conceal the knife when you tuck it behind the belt buckle.
in the waistband carry.
Oh, don't sit down.
Just wave it up off of your belt buckle.
And I think for the record, you're not happy to see anybody with that down your pants. Anyway,
No.
They're not.
It's not the kind of day
They're not
where
happy to see
you run or sit with that knife there. Yeah, no.
Just waving it off like the inside of your pants, you're gonna lop something off.
Yep.
And we should ask the Spaniards. That's we may or may not do that about the Espadas. I'll DM Lynn Thompson. I'll see what kind of response I get back.
Let us know.
Slide into his DMs about gentlemanly carry and see what he has to say.
He probably carries. He probably has a lucky one, or just a regular lucky, like clipped onto his underwear. Honestly,
And a Laredo on his belt, just in case.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
one of four.
the
Laredos.
behind the tie is bigger than the lucky one. Like it's
Yeah.
So
He's got like a Braveheart or a Secret Edge or something back there. No, that's too
it's
reasonable.
It's a wide tie. It's a
Yeah.
wide tie.
Can we petition Cold Steel to make a Secret Edge? Not a Secret Edge. What's the fixed-bladed version of that knife you were just holding up, Joe?
Yeah, that's the Secret Edge. I'm pretty sure.
Is that a Secret Edge? Can we get one of those in a decent steel?
You mean
I
a
want
steel
that knife.
other than Oz 8?
Yes.
Or HCR or whatever the hell they're making. No, it's Oz 8A.
It's Oz 8. Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be nice.
I want better.
Just S35. I mean, you're doing the rest of that lineup of the holdouts, so.
They made a folder called the Caledonian Edge. I don't know if they ever made a super classy fixed blade, but the Caledonian Edge we talked about when it came to like my Talwar back in the day and all of
Yeah.
that garbage, right? So yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, we can always wish. We can always hope.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if they ever did a Sanmai version of a fixed blade somewhere along the way, or a carbon hive version, or that wouldn't surprise me. If...
Of the Secret
It'd be a
Edge.
3V secret.
No,
edge.
it'd more be like the Braveheart or something like that, because the
Oh.
Braveheart was the slightly bigger fixed bladed version.
Right. The Braveheart was a comfy little knife from what I remember.
I don't know the Braveheart. I'm
Nope.
gonna Google it. Unless you want to Google it, Joe.
It's a slightly
Yeah.
bigger secret edge, is what it is. Yeah.
Is it still a neck knife?
Mm-mm.
By my standards, is it still a neck knife?
Oh yeah, it's
Plastic
totally a
clip.
neck knife.
Plastic clip for you, yeah. I mean, you could rock two.
I'll put it
one
with
behind
my-
your tie, but it's a wide tie. So
Do they still make it?
I think they do.
I'm
Oh,
into it.
it's not turning up on their website.
It looks roughly the same size as that Kabar that I'm getting.
No, your Kabar is smaller.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's smaller than you think.
Sweet.
Oh, it is discoed. Shoot, that's too bad.
It's like if someone took my Bark River and turned it into a mini.
I'm into it. To be honest, it was the coffin handle that really sold.
That was the one that stood out to me in the case. I'm happy that you got it, because that's kind of funny. Yeah.
I genuinely suspect that people didn't bid on it because of the Kyber.
Weren't sure what was going on there. Yeah. But
Yeah.
Weird history with that knife. Wouldn't mind talking about it when you actually have it in hand, so we can get some good
Yeah.
photos.
Hell yeah.
But yes, this is the Braveheart. It was decent. It had a Kydex sheath, plastic clip on it, kind of Koboon price point.
Yeah, I will
Maybe.
say there is a photo here from survivalknifeexperts.com that has this thing with a beaded chain.
Well, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, I don't know if this is a knockoff or not though, because this is the type
No.
of knife that would get ripped off a lot from Cold Steel, right?
No, that looks pretty legit. And the code is right, the SDS, and that looks it. I'm sure it had a plastic clip. Maybe it was removable.
Yeah, it
'Cause
does.
I
It
know-
comes with a detachable boot/belt clip, so that must be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got
So, yeah. All your needs.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
That clip. Yeah. You can just carry them like the bear claws around a chain, Paul. You can just Braveheart it.
I'll throw this on there too.
The pinky will be the secret edge. It's a small one, or maybe the super edge.
Oh,
It's a cub.
well, the
He
super
killed a
edge.
cub. It wasn't a full-grown bear. It was.
I hate it.
You kind of like it.
Evidently, he's just rolling away from the conversation.
Yeah, roll it away. I'm leaving.
Just-
I'm done. Apparently.
all right. So so Vivi, small topic. Yeah, 1227. Is it an add to cart thing right now?
1227.
It is, or not 1227. Sorry, Nitro B.
Yeah.
It is an
Supposedly.
add to cart. For the micarta one, and then G10, it has. They're all add to cart as well. JG10 or Black G10. For all the hipsters, have some JG10 sparkles. Yeah, that's how I feel
Look,
about JG10. But
Yeah.
Sparkles.
If you know that you're going to be dyeing it a certain color, cool. But I don't understand why anyone would just plain G10 handles. I very rarely have seen them on a knife, and I'm like, yeah, that looks good.
Agreed.
yeah, good times.
Yeah.
You could probably do a backspacer out of it or something like that and make it look halfway interesting, but
I suppose. But as far as like exterior scales, the only one recently, this is like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. No, 3 years. The Benchmade bug out that had the blue butterfly on the inside liner.
Yeah.
Boo.
I like the
looked
butterfly,
good,
but I
though.
like the idea.
It looked good. I thought it was a really neat idea.
I will agree to disagree.
You didn't like the idea?
I didn't like the idea or the execution.
Oof.
It's
Yeah.
Oh.
they should have used some of that acrylic shit that they carbonize scales on the Mannix and stuff like that and put a butterfly in there instead of JG10. But they did it for the hipsters.
Acrylic scales would have been cool as hell, but they would have scratched up so quick.
Well, you know,
Although,
that's why you take them to
if you bead
your.
blast it.
Oh no, you just take it to your closest car windshield guy and just, you know, get a polish from time to time.
I heard if you use toothpaste.
I've never attempted, but
you can polish headlights with toothpaste.
Yeah.
I imagine if you can do it with that.
Yeah, there's a funny story behind using paste to clean headlights, but that we'll leave that for off camera.
All right, I'll make a note.
So while we're talking about new stuff, we might as well talk about another new thing that got announced here just recently, and that's the CRKT Kukri. The clever girl Kukri. Speaking of knife news as our default background.
Oh, I was going straight to...
Well, no, do it. Straight to CRKT, because that's where the good stuff is.
Yeah. As clever as it looks. How clever does it look, Dennis? Does it look particularly clever?
No. Well, it looks like it's trying to be clever, but like Adam Sandler, like Broken Jewels or Uncut Gems movie. Yeah.
Oof.
That kind of clever.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so 7 3/4 inch blade. It's K-bar sized.
Yeah. I do like that they added all this extra flat area, which just translates to more meat, more thickness, more weight at the forward end of that blade. That's cool. But it
would be cooler in a foot-long blade.
This is pretty compact though. I mean, it's what does it say the overall length is 13 1/4.
13 1/4, yeah. 4 3/4 inch, so just under 5 mil thick. Not inch, sorry. 4 3/4 mil.
I got what
just
you
under
mean.
5 mil. Yeah.
So this is this is what I would call like a subcompact Kukri. That's not an SK5.
What the fuck is a subcompact Kukri for?
For when you want to chop, but when you don't know if you want to chop.
It's like you want to chop some things, but you drive a Fiat.
yeah,
it's
no,
a
seriously,
subcompact.
That's it.
It feels like a Kukri for somebody that wants to EDC a Kukri, which seems like a terrible idea.
Yep, I agree,
so,
and that's exactly
Forged in War series. It might not necessarily be for wood processing. And with a 4 3/4 mil thick blade with a 8 inch, there might be some hacky, choppy, abusable properties that this thing might come into play somewhere along the way.
That's fair.
Yes, Kydex sheath. Yeah. I don't know. My biggest complaint is like, Jesus Christ, the price. CRKT.
How many dollars it is?
So
come on. Look at the.
It's 130. Yeah, it's 135.
USD.
Yeah.
USD.
What does that translate to for us Canuck bucks?
165, 170 bucks, 165 bucks, something like that.
That's too many bucks.
170. Okay, but if it's using SK5, Japanese equivalent of 1095, and it's roughly the same size as a K-bar, don't you think that maybe it's worth... No, I'm not going to...
Where is it made? Is it made in Orleans, New York? Wait, the K-bar isn't either?
I'm sorry, what did I miss?
And
you said the same size as a K-bar, and I said, well, is it made in the same country as a K-bar? And I said, oh, wait, K-bars aren't American-made anymore either?
Don't you worry.
Not the Kukri, at least. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe some of the Kukris are. Not all
Most
of them.
Most of them are Taiwanese now, aren't they?
Yeah, but I think they have that combat one that's still in Orleans, New York version because it has the K-bar handle to it.
Same handle. Yeah. But you have to wonder if those were just blanks that were cut out in Taiwan and shipped over to the States to have handles put on.
Guys, I think you're mispronouncing that. It's Kabar.
It's Kyber.
Yeah, there you
go. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not too bent out of shape over the price for what it is, but
yeah, Camp 10's is $100 polar bear dollars, give or take.
Yeah, but Camp 10's also a bigger knife made in China, right?
Yeah, 65 MN. That's just as far as.
I forgot about the 65 mm. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a lot of dollary dues.
Okay.
But the whole Clever Girl series is all about dollary dues, and it's hard sells on them.
The other point too, which doesn't explain away everything, but every time there's 3D Machine G10 to any capacity, CRKT jacks the price up, regardless if it's like a tiny little bit of rounded sculpting or there's actually a considerable amount of machining that's happening to the handle. And this is one of those cases.
I don't know. Okay, so the Clever Curl fixed blade, the original one before the folder, whatever. Dick Richards is actually right. They did like a 55 to 57 Rockwell or some garbage on the SK5. Super soft.
Yeah. I think they still do.
Yeah, and it was up in price, but the machining and the contouring on the handle, I really liked. I wanted it to be $100 knife that I could have as a tactical boning knife for when I go hunting, because it's a tactical boning knife is what this thing is. And I bet you if you had SK5 and you were processing an animal, it would probably work really well. So
I bet you would throw okay.
What's that?
What, sorry?
Would throw okay.
Yeah.
Probably be all right.
Tip. They're okay, but yeah.
How much is, if any, of the money goes towards is there like a charity that's associated with this or anything like that?
Well, the Forged in War program.
The whole series has like a certain amount of its profits to redirect it to that.
But is it towards like a charity, or is it giving people the option of getting, like, making a knife and getting commission on said knife?
So if you scroll down to the very bottom, Joe, there is a link, but I'm just scrolling through that link right now.
The mission is ready tool designed by veterans with a portion of the proceeds donated to veterans charity of choice. So whoever's designing the knife gets to donate it to a specific
And then if you click on that link, it tells you the designer and what the charity of choice is. So Green Beret Foundation for Elmer Roche that does the axes. Green Beret Foundation, Purple Hearts Homes and Oath is what Austin McGlaw does.
Okay.
For Clever Girls, yeah. And also the Dewhawk. So shout out to the Dewhawk video, which is still probably our #1 video, or really strangely enough. Yeah, those Russians like the karambits.
That thing was a scary knife, though.
I'm willing to pay a little bit extra as long as I know it's going towards a good cause like this.
Depending.
You know?
Yeah. I can understand that.
If I wanted the knife, depending on how badly I wanted a specific knife, I would be able to console myself with knowing that proceeds were going to charity.
Ultimately, people do also complain. I just wanted to go back to the soft heat treatment bit. I often complain about companies not pushing the hardness far enough on fixed blades, especially, but keep in mind, companies like SE in Ontario don't exactly push 60 with their 1095 either. So realistically speaking, this is about market expectation for this type of steel. Just putting that out there as well. Do I wish it were different? Yeah, I wish that they were at least 60, 61, and you could get some serious edge retention out of it, but then you do lose out of some of the toughness, some of the malleability. That is a factor.
And with the Kukri, I'm okay with the 55 to 57. With the Clever Girl fixed blade, maybe I'm not, right? Like, same with the folder. I don't know what they did. It was D2, I think, on the folder, right?
Yes, it was D2. I don't know about previously, but right now, they specify SK5 as being heat treated between 57 and 58. So, better than 55, 57. It's still, again, industry sort of.
Yeah, that's a happy medium for impact and edge as far as them getting away with claiming. You could go higher than that. You could go 58, 59 and still have great impact with SK5 for sure. Yeah, so.
I'm pretty sure my Leatherneck in SK5 is very close to 60. I seem to remember testing it with my files. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Leathernecks were all the Cold Steel SK5 stuff, I believe, was a 60 or a 61 or something like that type of thing. Like, they weren't messing around. Yeah, for sure. Zaminator, thanks for joining us.
Hey. Cheers. I don't know who he's talking to with his
cool people.
Hey, cool people.
Not
must be somebody in chat.
It's ironic. It's it's
Yeah.
probably the guys in chat. Definitely not directed towards us.
That's it.
Hey, only cool guys carry Spydercos. That's
Oh, that's what they say.
it's not true.
No.
Anyway, yeah. So I don't know how I feel about this thing. I wish it was less money. I want to like it, but
I want it to be a bigger Kukri.
I don't know if you could get away with it with that handle.
That's
yeah, I feel like you need a larger pommel, something to catch
do
you
that.
once it gets much larger.
Just happy they didn't name it the Cuck like their last Kukri.
Hey,
I mean,
hey,
Kook.
speaking of
Sorry.
65 mm, I had the opportunity to buy one of those somewhat recently, and I'm thinking about doubling back for it just because it's just silly.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
For six, okay, but for $60,
It's still a trap. It's something that you'll sell in $60 a year down the road because that's about what it's worth.
yeah, it's a thin it's a thin blade too.
It's
They
so
say the thing-
thin.
It's a machete. It's not a
You're never gonna get any actual use out of it.
no
What?
like
You got a
realist-
Bark River Grizzly if you want a thin, quick blade. Jesus Christ.
grizzly.
Or not Grizzly, Trail Buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I sure do. It's
Grizzly is not a thin blade.
No. That trail buddy though. Oh,
where the hell did it? It's just
yeah.
fading at the
Pull
end.
it out, Joe.
Where did this big
Show it off.
12-inch blade go?
Well, it's here somewhere.
Where did I put that?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, my only Bark River, and
Really? That's your only Bark River?
that's my only. That's my only.
Interesting.
Would you call that a Bowie blade?
Yes, I mean it's a clip point for sure. This is closer to a Bowie for sure.
Yeah.
This thing chops though. Fuck.
That's A2?
Yeah, it's A2.
Yeah. I bet it chops like a son of a bitch.
It's great. It's just a big old scalpel that chops. I love it. I don't get to use it all that often. But
A big old scalpel that chops.
well, I mean when you
Let me go get my chopping scalpel.
dude, no joke. Look at that. It's ridiculous.
I think we all have chopping scalpels. Yeah.
Trailmaster's close. I mean,
The O1 Kukri, I think, is more of a, because of the flat grind on it, more of a chopping scalpel than.
yeah, I mean,
It's
maybe
my little baby chopping scalpel.
chop and scalpel.
Yeah.
Well, just because he said one Kukri had to.
This Kukri will not be a chopping scalpel. He has that at the ready. His
Yeah.
trail buddy
Well,
can't find it anywhere. Kukri. Oh, that's right here on my hip.
Yeah. I found it
That's a
before.
Bowie Kukri.
No, I found this before I found that guy. So it's that's my reasoning.
I see what you're saying.
Oh, did you open up your
I haven't
thumb
handled
again?
this thing in a while. God damn, she's sharp.
Oh, yeah. I thought you cut yourself again.
No,
Just a little.
I might.
Not yet. Oh,
And then I'm questioning the sheath on this damn thing too.
Okay,
I think
yeah.
the Kydex is okay. I think the belt loop looks kind of garbagey.
so the belt loop I thought was maybe fold over Kydex, excuse me. But when you look at the back end, that's that's injection. that isn't just injection molded
Kydex.
plastic. So now it's been a really long time since I've seen injection molded plastic fail in this way, but I have seen injection molded plastic like loops, little bridges for small gaps. I've seen them crack in cold weather. A kukri is nice in cold weather, especially if you're trying not to carry around a ton of weight. You still want something to chop with, but you don't want to pack an axe. It's good for that.
Pack an axe. Just pack a damn axe.
Nah.
It gets more than 3 points.
Grab a cuck. I mean,
You
two.
can swap with the left hand carry.
Can you though?
It's got holes.
Oh, it's got 2 holes holding the whole thing on. Yeah, that's reliable. Either side you do it, super reliable. Thanks here, KT. I appreciate
It
your
should-
twisty
man,
goodness.
It's
should be
one
fine.
more screw than I would expect from them.
Couple of screws you use.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't even have it here, but
That's why it comes with a thigh strap. It knows you're going to need it.
yeah. I guess it's kind of irrelevant to the conversation. But do you remember the ZT fixed blade, the 121, the little Strider collaboration they did, or whoever it was with? It looks like a Strider handle to me. But
Yeah, ZT Strider collab. Yeah, 121.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
they did
how?
a folder too. Yeah.
But do you remember how they did the backside of that sheath? They had like this G10 plate that the tech lock was riveted to, and then that plate was bolted onto the sheath. So it was oddly shaped, but it was super secure. Couldn't even be bothered to do something like that here. I guess. I guess
Have you
it's.
met Sierra KT?
I guess it's because they wanted this half open back. So sheath. I don't. Yeah, I don't really have anything that's similar.
They
But
want little compartments you could put your drugs into on the back and just cover up.
You got to remember, Paul, that you're talking to Joe when it comes to CRKT.
The fanboy, I forgot.
Yeah, there's like these like drunk goggles that Joe has when it comes to CRKT products.
what are you talking about? I just finished criticizing their shitty belt loop design.
How many CRKTs do you EDC, Paul? Yeah, I'm just.
I might need to see Pillar 3 though.
So you're saying you shouldn't take my criticism into account? It's very nice of you.
Well, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Your criticism's worthwhile. It's your praise that may not be.
But like, look, you're telling me you can't make a nice kukri sheath where the blade comes out the front end, as opposed to having to have it lift out the back. I don't like that. I don't like that design.
And that was the other thing too, is we've seen people and ourselves have struggled with those out of the back sheaths. It's
I wonder, does that have anything to do with the fact that the CRKT kukri is definitely like straight angles?
It probably has. Yeah.
The cold steel is like one continuous curve.
Yeah, it probably. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you already have all this vertical height, or vertical, anyway, oriented as it is now. You have all this vertical height on that sheath. I'd rather it just be wider all the way across rather than have it taper down to the slim neck and then have it open up the back.
They'd have nowhere to put the screws.
Yeah, Joe.
So make a wider attachment and then bolt that together.
There's the serious design flaw of where do we put the 2 out of 4 screws if we make the sheath wider.
You see, problem solving may not be their forte. However, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't keep trying.
And why more people haven't just stolen Cold Steel's sheath strap design. Because if you hold up that kukri, I mean, love it or hate it, it's a smart, like, universal. Joe, if you hold up the kukri or the Trailmaster or something, with the sheath.
Oh, this.
The other side in particular, It's not that kukri is that fat all the way down.
Yeah.
It's just they've got a good enough retention that you don't have to worry about it clacking around too much. Yeah.
It's got such good retention. I don't even use the friggin' snap.
The retention
I'd
on
like it to be a little floppier.
The retention on, I have to say, on my Leatherneck is pretty crappy. Like, it snaps all right, but it's not great. If this were loose and I were to take like a fall or jump off of something, the knife would be coming out.
I will say, even back in the day, Cold Steel's Kydex was most of the time good. Every once in a while, meh. You just didn't get one that clicked quite properly. I've got spikes that don't click as good as the other spikes in my collection, things like that. And I know that, even having 2 Leathernecks in my collection at one point in time, one had better retention than the other. I kept the better retention one, and just recently I parted with it as well. But yes, so
Examinator just made a really good point about the Clever Girl kukri here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, talking about where the curvature in the blade happens, similar to like a Tom Brown tracker, where you can use that section to make feather sticks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've spun my kukri around in that same grip and done the backwards feather sticking type of thing where you stab it into a tree or a stump and actually run it out. Yeah, for sure. So yes, kukri has some small knife task abilities, even if they're not 100% great compared to
I was gonna say
the Azula that I normally carry with my kukri. So
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it's doable with this, but with the CRKT it looks even more so because the curve is much more pronounced. And something did just occur to me. If they're marketing this as a tactical potential fighting knife for wartime use or for people who,
It's a
you know,
tactica.
yeah, it's a tacticuck. Great. That's entered the lexicon now. I don't like that. From a fighter's perspective, I guess it makes sense having the open back design because you can yank that thing out and it's just going to come flying as soon as you have the snap undone. So maybe from that perspective, I kind of get it. Still not my preference.
As long as those two screws hold and you don't just rip the whole thing off your belt. Like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Come roundabout to bitching about 2 out of 4 screws again. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little.
I'll be right back, guys. Give me 2 seconds.
Sounds good.
I adore the idea of pulling your knife out as it's still in the sheath. Get off.
It's a little ridiculous, just a little bit.
I'll just stab you through the sheath. You don't know.
The sheath. I mean, with anyway, just keep flagging on CRKT. I was gonna say you'd probably just shear right through the rivets.
Yeah.
The tin rivets that they use. Don't quote me on that. They're not using tin. I'm pretty sure it's actually steel rivets. But
I don't know. Tin rivet seems like a blues singer.
I mean, it's a catchy name. Did the question here? Do they actually say Kydex anywhere, or is this just their plastic insert sheath?
Yeah, it's not Kydex. You can tell from it's their molded.
Yeah, they
injection.
don't say Kydex. I only ask because I know that. No, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't remember a time they actually used specifically Kydex. Everything I could think of has just been their glass-filled nylon injection molded, which is
like their minimalist
fine.
And stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, if we're being consistent here, the Cold Steel Securex stuff, yeah, it's just glass-filled nylon as well. So ultimately, you can't get too bent out of shape about it.
No, but there's right ways and wrong ways to do it.
Well, it's been a long while since I've seen a CRKT plastic molded sheath that had really bad gapping issues, but I have seen them. So with a knife this big, it makes me a little apprehensive, but better than United Cutlery, though.
True story. So,
sorry, I was looking at my edge for a second.
I'm really curious to see it in hand. The Clever Girl Kukri. It's not necessarily that I'm going to hate it. There's just a couple things that are a little tough pills to swallow, right? Heat treatment on SK5, price of SK5, so on and so forth. But yeah, not being an American-made SK5.
Yeah, or you can get an SRK in SK5 for $75. It kind of hurts to pay this much for.
Yeah, I guess part of it too is like, how much does G10 actually matter to you in a fixed blade handle?
One of the other things there, well, yeah.
I mean,
one of the other things for me is the fact that Austin McGlone, has 3 different charities that he's donating to, and that might explain the consistency of high price points when it comes to the Clever Girl series, being that it's his, right? So it's not just one charity, it's 3.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I like the little finger choil up by the blade so you can get in close.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
I'm never going to use that. Yeah, no. Exactly.
It's given where the blade grind actually starts, I don't mind it being there. I think I'm
going to curve more of a Bowie style hook in there so it can be a blade catch.
There you go. Spanish notch.
Yeah, exactly.
Awful.
It's already halfway there. It's
What's the weight on this thing?
What's the notch in a kukri called? Chora, something like that?
Oh,
not 100% sure. I'm not going to
but you
attempt it.
You could do that.
Yeah, I knew at one point.
In there.
This thing's 13 and a quarter. Oh, sorry, reading the wrong thing. 14.2 ounces. She ain't light. Should chop pretty well, but that's
choppy. Yeah. That's what I said. Yeah. So
it's not quite a master, but it's not far off.
Yeah.
What's a Trailmaster weigh?
I want to say 18.
Either way. Just other things that got announced. On to another topic. We want to keep this train rolling.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. Does
How
that
big
mean
is yours, Paul?
Depends on how big we want to make it. We can. It doesn't need to be a big production. It can be a big production if you want it to be.
Oh, we can make it a big production. No, okay. let's see. Let's see where this gets us. Yeah.
All right.
So
This is
I found an article riding the train to work one morning.
Was this the Bitly link or was this the
Bitly link?
The one with the Kyber picture? Just making sure I got the right one.
With the Kyber, yes. Yeah.
Okay, I think I have it. Yeah.
It should be, I think it's CNN article.
Yeah.
Talking about a new process to make wood as sharp as steel.
To make a knife that rivals steel.
Uh-huh.
All right, scientists, what do you got to say?
Not a huge amount that I really want to say about it. They talk about removing lignin from the wood and then doing another process to compress it, to compress all of the cellulose together or something.
The air pockets that they took. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing that really kind of chaps my ass about the whole thing is where they describe how it's sharper than an actual steel blade.
What, 23 times sharper?
No. They say 4 or 5 times sharper than your standard table knife. Which is a
table
butter
knife?
knife.
I was gonna say.
Uh-huh. So it's 4 or 5 times sharper than a knife that doesn't actually have an edge.
So 4 to 5 times 0 is still 0? Like, no. That being said, I've seen
right in the title, the clickbaity goodness. Yeah, Joe highlighted the fact that 23 times harder.
Oh, did I see that? Okay.
Yeah, 23 times harder than
an ordinary wood.
Right. Now that's an interesting process in itself. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. 100%. Like for construction and stuff like that, if you can make something smaller and stronger.
If I could get like a cutting board made out of like wood that's gone through that kind of processing, or even like just like a desktop, that'd be cool.
You might chip some edges.
Not if I use exclusively ZDP. It should be okay. At a 12 degree or whatever. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's funny. I'm very curious as to whether or not it's a similar process. I've watched a guy on YouTube actually take wood and make it transparent.
Justin.
Lignin out of it.
Justin just made that exact same comment.
There you go. That's hilarious.
Nice.
Improving natural wood. That's what happens when you mess with nature. This is how Patient Zero happens, by the way.
People playing dirt.
You all thought it was going to be some sort of rabies virus, and you didn't all realize that it was the goddamn trees coming for us.
They compress the wood down to about 20% of the original thickness, which is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. So they start with a pretty thick piece. If it's 20%, it's a fifth of what it was to begin with.
Yeah.
How are their plunge grinds?
Well, from that first photo,
to resharpen it.
I was gonna say for that first photo, it looks non-existent. It looks like it's just curved.
There's an edge in that shadow. I'm pretty sure.
Did they? Oh well. I'm just wondering if they faked a plunge grind.
They definitely faked the plunge grind.
This is actually much more interesting to me than the fact that they made a knife out of wood. We also demonstrated that you can use these hardwoods to make nails as functional as steel nails. Okay, so wooden nails have been a thing for a very long time, but the fact that they're making them this, giving them this level of durability is super cool.
Having a hardwood floor made exclusively of hardwood?
Yeah.
Where is this technology being done? Out of curiosity.
I'm not sure.
They might say at the beginning of the article.
Where
Kang Lee, a materials scientist and a mechanical engineer from the University of Maryland. Maryland? Maryland.
Maryland.
The States. The States is where this is happening. Interesting.
Yeah. A lot of material sciences still happens there, even if manufacturing is basically disappeared.
Yeah, I was banking on Japan, honestly, but yeah.
Fair enough.
Japan would make sense with the wooden nails, and just like if you look at their intricate wood, like carpentry skills and stuff like that, it would make a lot of sense actually. If you look at like the old school joints and stuff that they do.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what made me think of the wooden nails, because I know it's been a long tradition there.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but they say that they hammered a wooden nail through 3 boards. Not that they had a pre-drilled hole and they put a nail in between 3 boards.
They don't
just play their video.
say here, but it's just a video. Yeah.
This Tang Li guy is quite the character. I'm deep diving on him right now. Anyway.
Oh,
are you?
He likes his wood. How to make a battery from wood. Super Wood wins multiple awards and funding. Super Wood could replace steel. Battery technology, apparently, with some wood. Yeah, good times. Good times.
Like Justin is saying too, the process for making that transparent wood is so variable that you end up with a lot of like stuff you just throw away. I wonder how much of this is a process that you can just kind of throw away, like DLC coating a blade or something.
Yeah, there's definitely the possibility of a ton of room for error here.
Yeah. Something as simple as a knot in the wood.
Well, they say we use chemicals to partially remove lignin. So if that's the case, and that you only need to partially remove it, the condition of the wood itself is greatly going to influence this entire process. So it doesn't sound like it's necessarily, like you say, repeatable. There's probably going to be some sort of variance here. Yeah. I am not something of a scientist myself, and I have no idea the chemical sciences for dealing with processing wood, so I imagine that it's a pretty nuanced thing to get right.
And yes, for me, the big thing was, like you were saying, 5 times stronger than steel. Which steel? Like, what a butter knife apparently is a steel without an edge, right? Like,
yeah.
But I just looked up even sort of publications that this guy has done, and holy cow, like, it's just, this man's not messing around when it comes to next level stuff. So
even if this only replaces your takeout cutlery,
yeah,
and it's better because of it, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a kind of a neat idea.
So just randomly, the molecular mass transportation via carbon nanoscrolls in the Journal of Applied Mechanics is one of his more recent ones.
He's like, one of the big thinkers, eh?
Holy cow, this man is trying to reinvent some shit. So that's cool. That's cool.
Zaminator also pointed out that it's probably not dishwasher safe, and that's probably true.
I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting.
It depends. I wonder, because I guess it would have to depend on the ductility of the material post process.
If they're compressing it down to be hard enough, it might be, because you're not worried about saturation on wood and drying it out and blah 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 type of.
But I wonder about all the cleaning chemicals, the soaps, the detergent that you're putting into the dishwasher. I wonder if that'll open up the pores in the wood at all. I wonder if there could be something there that might cause problems.
And actually, Zaminator made a point about, could you leave it in water? And yes, would it soak up? Is it one of those foam dinosaurs where you can just like get a really big knife?
Yeah. Well, I started with a table knife. Now I have a wooden messer.
That's how the new online delivery is going to be for swords. Just add water.
Just add water. Bathtub worth, and leave it for 48 hours.
But dude, imagine taking a pumpkin apart with a wooden sword. How neat would that be?
That'd be cool as hell, dude. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine, though, as far as an actual response to the question, probably gonna have to hand wash this shit. Like, yeah. Probably.
So, and this guy doesn't go just into woods. I read another article here. Just how stretchable can we make thin steel metal film? So he's making metal films and then seeing the elasticity, the stretchability of, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jesus, like this man is definitely doing something. So it might be just a random article or whatever, but
I'm happy to hear that there's mechanical engineers out there like this that are just fucking with shit. Just like, what's gonna work? What can I make this do?
And just for the record, this might be being done in Maryland, but yeah, there's definitely some overseas influence going on in some of these.
I would imagine there's a lot of, people from other countries that come into Canada, the U.S., and all over the place, really, for university grants and things like that.
And Infinite Gunworks did make a comment about edible utensils are a real thing. Let's just set the record straight. Edible everything is a thing.
Anything's edible if you're desperate enough.
Straight up.
Edible utensils just taste like blood.
Those ones weren't meant to be edible. Yeah. You're doing it wrong.
You said just now that everything's edible. I heard you. You said
no, there is an edible everything if you look into anything in this world.
I watched a guy eat an airplane on live TV.
You think it was live?
It was only a very small part.
Also, the airplane is made out of chocolate. It was one of those.
No. It was a dude that ate an airplane for Guinness.
I know. I'm just saying. A lot of... Anyway. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway.
So this vaguely reminds me of that guy who had the YouTube channel where he was making knives out of a whole bunch of shit.
Like bismuth?
Bismuth. Actually, there were a number of episodes that were kind of funny, but you would see even in the thumbnail, and like, oh, that's not a knife made out of whatever. Like the knife that was made out of smoke. It's smoke, but it was also like he had to use a shit ton of resin to get the smoke off of the container and mix it together. And it's like, it's not really made out of smoke. It's made out of resin that happens to have a little bit of smoke in it.
Yeah.
Article says that this knife can survive the dishwasher. It's dishwasher safe. Yeah. Well, the article that I'm reading, because I'm like 3 articles deep about this nerdy bullshit right now.
I have started a deep dive.
Lee added that the knife can be sharpened when it becomes dull and even survive the dishwasher. That's interesting. So, worst case scenario, maybe there's like an outer layer that kind of gets, I don't know, wrecked in some way by the water, but you could just shave it off or brush it off or something. But being able, yeah, I guess, and sharpening it when it becomes dull. I imagine you probably just do the same thing like when you would convex a knife and just use sandpaper until it's sharp again.
Just get a file.
Yeah.
Justin just said something about spork-shaped biscuits, and I don't know that band.
It does sound like a punk band, though. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's an anti-establishment. Goodness, right there.
Christian punk, though.
Oh, really? You think so?
MXDX style. Yeah.
Wow. They're talking about biscuits. Come on.
And sports.
Next topic. No, we can keep talking about this.
No, I think that's about it. It's kind of a cool thing. Mr. Scientist is over there being scientisty. So good for him. Good for him.
I think this will go over better than ceramic knives.
Unless they're elastic ceramic.
It all depends on the marketing nowadays. That's the shitty part about it. This thing might not even make it to anywhere if you can't market it properly. That's the crappy thing is you might have a world-changing product that you can't sell. And that sucks, right? Yeah. So we'll see.
Here's hoping. Yeah. What's next? Did Paul have a second topic we want to do, or did Dennis have one?
I had one, but I don't know if we can dive into it at this point in the night. We're past an hour.
Do we want to go a little bit longer? Because I got something. It's literally as long as we want to talk about it. Right. I just found a company that I am into, that I saw a few things that I liked, and you were talking about Kukris earlier. So
Was
They
this
kinda-
the website you sent today with your PPT picture?
Sure. Unless somebody else has something that they would
No,
rather talk
I
about.
think mine can actually last us a little bit longer. It's kind of a midnight topic, depending on if we have a review to do or not. So we can hang on to it. It's nothing new or upcoming. So yeah,
Okay, so not too time sensitive.
yeah, no.
Cool. Yeah, sure. Let's do this. So you were saying Kukri something, huh?
Yeah, it's a new like kukri house, I guess, out of Nepal that I've never heard about before. Who's making some pretty things? I watched a bit of a like first
Eyelash blades.
impressions. Kailash blades, yeah. Don't try and order anything for Christmas.
I just
If
saw
we
the
were-
big pop up.
blades.
Yeah.
If we were to contact them, would it reroute us to Dav Gear?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Like the person that I watched was contacted by Kailash Blades to
There's
Yeah,
review some of
that's
their
what
product.
they all say. Just give me your credit card number.
They have
Yeah,
a
but he also has like Hanway approaching him, so I imagine he's probably got some kind of.
Just give me your credit card number. No, I'm just kidding. They
They've
might
got
be more
a-
reputable than that.
Whatever,
but
though.
anyway, yeah.
they've got a Blade Forum sub forum. I'm just seeing a link here. I'm not going to click
Nice.
through, but that's. And you said these guys are new?
They're new to
Well,
me.
Oh,
New
okay.
to me. I've never heard of them before. If you scroll to the top of the page,
Yeah.
you have a product section, and we can completely skip over the modern, unless you want to go there. We could go there to laugh a little bit,
Oh no. Oh
go
no.
to our work. Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Okay.
The traditional stuff, though, oh,
So we're looking at the traditional.
it depends on you. You want to have a laugh first or second?
Oh.
Or they'd say their good stuff first, and then we'll have a chuckle to finish it up because Paul's bragging about these guys and all being like, blah, blah, blah. They make cool stuff. Let's see cool stuff. All right.
Traditional.
What's the custom? But I'm not going to clink.
It's a page that you can try and order a custom that they're not doing.
Dav
That's
Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can customize all of their standard models too and ask them for changes and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
That's
Above
not.
and beyond what the options are that are already available.
Those aren't USD prices, are they?
I believe they are.
Really?
Yeah, unless they're like Euro, but even still,
That's a
It's
dollar
not.
sign. That's a dollar sign, my friend.
that sure is. So the pensioner would be a good place to start because it's real pretty.
Let's do that.
They're all
I
really
see.
pretty. The pensioner, and
I'm
I don't know how
liking
to
that
pronounce the other one.
Angola,
Yeah.
Chira, the middle one there. Yeah, yeah.
With the three fullers. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
number 2.
That
Here's some
mirror
things.
though.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That sheath doesn't look half bad. Oh, they have the middle rib on the handle. Nice. Keeping
You
it
get your
somewhat
options.
traditional.
You can do a traditional like rat tail tang, or you can do a full tang if you prefer.
Really?
You can choose different handle materials, different sheath types. So if you wanted like a more bushcrafty style with a dangler, I'm pretty sure those are available.
Oh, and they let you change the handle length. That's interesting. So the blade will be the
Yep.
same, but you can change the handle to suit your preference. That's cool.
Depending on the knife, you can change the blade length too.
So there's
When we
a
go
fair.
to-
That's just because they have a whole bunch of people grinding shit in a bunch of varied lengths, and so you get the varied length of 10 to 13 inches. No,
These
I'm just
do
kidding.
No.
these do seem pretty specific, like 4.25, 4.75, and 5.25 for small, medium, large handle lengths. That's
Xamaner is asking what steel they're in. They describe using flat springs to cut to make the knife. So I'm pretty sure it's like a 5160 or some variation thereof.
given the price. 5160 would make sense for a kukri.
5160 in that kind of knife seems right up my alley too, as far as a big old chopper.
I wonder.
13-inch
Learn-
blade on that guy.
Interesting. Very, very
The-
interesting.
The fuller, like that style of deep fuller that is almost like T-shaped section at the spine, is one of my favorite things ever on like old kukris. They make me smile. But we should look at that one that Dennis was talking about with the triple fuller. Because you can get that thing anywhere from, I think, 11 to 17-inch blades.
Sorry, what was it called? The
Angola Tinchara or something like that.
Tinchura? Yeah, okay.
It's below and to the right of the one we were looking at. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting wavy kind of pattern.
Yeah, the triple fuller. There's a couple good pictures that really, I mean, this one highlights it really nicely too. But some that really, really highlight that triple fuller.
One's here
very
when
nicely.
it's contrasted against the sky with the dark trees in the midground. Yeah,
that one looks really good. The last picture as well, where you can see as the fuller exits the front of the blade.
Yeah. Talk about your S curves on your chef's knife, man.
You can get the sheath left-handed. I love you.
See?
Kailash blades.
Love me for introducing you to this, sir.
No.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, no, this is actually pretty cool. Stacked leather handles. You can get, desert micarta, orange micarta,
Really?
buffalo horn. Yeah.
Black micarta wrap.
Orange micarta too.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Stacked leather.
So in
I
the
really
learn,
like the stacked leather options. Yeah.
So in the learn section, I just want to see different examples of their. Ooh. Oh, that looks cool as hell. It should turn up for you guys in a sec, but in the middle there,
that's
the wrap micarta.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that looks cool as hell. And it's micarta. That's gonna be grippy as man. That's interesting.
Yeah, they do kydex. Their kydex looks pretty nice. The grommets are not bad.
Bravo. They make gladiuses? Gladii? They make
Gladiola. I'm pretty sure.
It's not a character from Final Fantasy 15. No,
I think it's a flower, dude.
The polishes look really nice. Even the full satins look gorgeous on these knives.
Dude, they're kicking ass. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to make an order sometime in the new year.
The person that I was watching that reviewed it had reviewed a Mark I British military issue that they were doing a reproduction of. That he got swapped out. He swapped out the handle for buffalo horn, and it's not the strongest material out there as far as like a big choppy knife.
It sounds classy as hell.
But God damn, did it look good!
They only charge $5 extra for the buffalo horn. All right.
Okay, you were saving the good stuff. He was joking. He was talking about the whole like modern and blah, blah, blah and good for laugh. And yes, I'll agree. One or two, good for laugh. There's some sweet shit on the modern. Jesus Christ, man. You're holding out on us.
Are you looking at the modern stuff right now?
Oh, I'm way ahead of you.
Well, we're going to go there now.
Yeah, I love it. I think we might be placing an order together at some point.
I think so. If this is USD, there's no reason.
So the Scourge, the grind and the blade of the Scourge is really nice looking, but the handle and quillion, for lack of a better word, is kind of ugly.
Well, sometimes I want to be a pirate, okay, with a kukri, and I can have both of those things.
Not the anniversary, the one to the left of that one, Joe.
Oh, I like both.
I like this one too with the full flat. It's still cool.
It actually reminds me a lot of Zombie Tools.
Yeah.
If you look at a Zombie Tools kukri, the handle and the blade shape are very similar.
Yeah.
They just they decided that the entire interior of the blade flat was just going to be convexed into a fuller. Absolute madmen. That is fantastic.
The sheath looks like the cheapest leather I've ever seen in my life. I'd go with Kydex if it was me.
The sheath? I don't see any pictures.
Oh, there's an anniversary Scourge. Sorry. It's got options for the sheath. Yeah.
They talk about in one of them having a leather sheath option or a rubbed leather sheath option, and I'm not exactly sure what rubbed leather means.
It's just they take the sheath and then they give it a little kiss and then they pack it up.
Fair enough. That is definitely
so I'm going to be ordering the Kydex options after Joe's description. It's
the
Also-
little kiss.
So what the fuck is going on with the Snapdragon, Paul?
Things.
Oh snap! It's a dragon.
Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it.
I like the giant butterfly sword too. Oh, yeah.
The
I'm
couch.
imagining they're trying to hold all the weight in the head of that knife, make it cut closer to the tip.
I guess, but man, that's a good way to introduce a stress riser.
Oh, for sure. And as far as I understand with Kukris, they tend to chop best slightly.
But look at the handle on that thing. It's fantastic. They're totally stealing from Zombie Tools. This is a deuce. This is a short bladed deuce.
I wonder if they would be willing to make you a hog splitter.
They don't,
I don't know what they charge you for a
looking.
It's
There's
not
lot
a
of steel.
deuce. The handle's kind of like a deuce, but the blade's nothing like a deuce.
Deuce 2.
Deuce-
Deuce 2.
Oh, barely.
I didn't think they made a Deuce 3, but without the cutout, right? Like
I'm pretty happy. Everybody in chat seems to like my this last thing that I decided to talk about.
I mean, it's you've given me something to look into.
Don't pat me on the back. Pat Scala Gladiatoria on YouTube.
Yeah, because he needs a shout out
does a
from
lot of
us.
sword review and stuff.
Holy
they
hell!
approached him about what is the long boy? Oh my god!
Well, that's my question: is what the hell? I'm seeing this guy holding it, and I still have additional questions.
oh, the long boy.
It's like a fixed bladed. What's it called? You know, espada or something.
It looks like somebody.
Or go ahead.
It looks like a clothes iron. That's what it looks like.
The bastard love child of a chef's knife and a hatchet. That's the first line in the description.
That's awesome. For the record, it kind of reminds me of a very short version of the spear from Hellboy 2.
Yeah.
The one that he can extend out.
Yeah. It's not the worst looking thing. It's just
12-inch handle
strange.
on that sumbitch. It's a katana handle
amazing.
on the end of a 10-inch blade.
Bowie knife.
That's wicked.
Think about all the handle grips you have, man. Throw some finger choils in there.
All of them. You got all of them.
I was looking at this Regent Bowie.
Yeah, that was the other one that kind of caught my eye.
Like, damn, that's proper. I'd still get it with Kydex because that leather does not look like anything to write home about.
Oh, that tip. That is a long ass clip point. And they give it like a weird Tonto tip. Oh,
So I
shit,
had
real
to look
good.
at this.
that's cool.
In that first picture, it almost looks like a butterfly sword.
You can get it with a
little
flat
bit.
top or a sharpened swedge, an unsharpened swedge, or a flat top. You can make this thing into a chopper.
That's
I'm
cool.
into it.
Dude, they make some really
Think
nice
about all the
stuff.
things you could baton with that.
180. 180.
What's our blade length? 12 and a half. 12,
That's
yeah.
it.
12
That
and a
seems
half.
short.
That's a Natchez.
It seemed like it was a longer blade.
Maybe because it tapers out so much towards the tip, it just gives it that illusion of length, maybe.
Yeah.
This is really cool, though. Like, goddamn.
Mhm,
I don't know.
mhm,
I'm
mhm.
gonna have a hard time picking what I want to order from them, but that's a good thing, though.
And I don't know if you noticed the socket Bowie and the socket Kukri, but these are Bushmans. These are folded in half handles. I'm pretty sure you can attach. You bet you can. This guy's got a picture of it on the edge of a sledgehammer. Good for him. That's the socket Bowie.
Oh yeah, fold over handle. Okay.
It's a Bushman, like the Cold Steels, but they do a Kukri and they do a Bowie.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Ooh, that handle looks a little rough.
Of course it is. It was made out of a shovel.
Now, I wonder if they use the same steel type for everything, or if like
no, straight up, that's a handle of a shovel that they just forged into. No, I don't know if it is or not.
I wonder if their fire is hot enough to make steel malleable, but not hot enough to actually do a proper forge weld. Maybe.
it might be a case of just like we can make them for cheaper if we don't spend the time forge welding them.
It's a $70 option for a big ass Bowie.
That you can put on the end of a hammer and have the ultimate apocalypse weapon. See, it's Left 4 Dead. That's what they're doing here. It's
a knife that stands up by itself. You just stand a sledgehammer in the corner.
Then you go to use it as a regular hammer, and you stab yourself right in the forearm and then the gut.
It's like those. It's like those old balloon toys that had the sand in the bottom, and like the boxing toys that you can just. It's just slicing things as it's the drinking bird thing going on. It's
I'm into it.
Knuckle Buster. But it does the opposite of busting your knuckles. It keeps them from getting busted. It's a guard, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a cold steel chaos kukri.
I like the look of this a little bit more than the chaos kukri. Yes. That is an aggressive forward angle. Holy shit.
Yes. That looks like a condor sheath. Not as nice as some of the condor sheaths. But
I was going to say, I can't believe I'm saying this, but not as nice as some of the condor sheaths.
I'll be honest, their traditional sheaths seem to be the nicest made stuff. Less stitching and stuff like that, I think.
I think they're keeping these sheaths at a very 2D angle for a reason. Not once have they shown the thickness of the leather, and I think they're hiding that because this stuff is paper goddamn thin.
Maybe, yeah.
Look at every single picture of the sheaths on the leather, and not a single one of them shows a side view.
No. This actually has a pretty good view. It's just a tiny, shitty picture. Let me zoom. That doesn't look too bad.
Actually, doesn't look too bad now that you see it like that.
Whoa! What are you zooming in on there, Joe?
Knife sheath. What do you think?
I think that's an XL Espada down the waistband, but yeah, it's.
You think of like a traditional Kukri sheath that would be wood lined. The leather you're going to put on that's going to be fairly thin, so it wouldn't surprise me if the
that does look slightly better than what I was envisioning.
It looks like the panels is probably around like an 1/8 inch. It's not that
nice
bad.
That it's actually a welt. I was expecting kind of like
Fold
the
over.
Leather sheath that comes with a standard K-bar, where it's just 2 pieces of leather, and good luck to you.
Yeah. Hey, you want to cut the shit out of your stitching? No? Well, too fucking bad. Here you go. Yeah, this looks pretty decent.
I also watched the guy in the review that I was talking about take it, put it upside down by the sheath, and shake the absolute fuck out of it and not have it slide out of the sheath. And there was no straps or anything holding it in. It was just the fitting of the sheath to the blade. The bush cleaver is kind of cool.
Jesus Christ, the bush cleaver.
With the hole.
With a little hole. I don't know what to make of that, but
yeah, it's a thing.
Does it have a picture of it in hand?
You're seeing all over Instagram right now, where the guy's making like bushcraft lunches and stuff.
That's a 2-hander. How thick is this thing? 8 millimeters. Holy shit.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes, please. Oh,
Take
man.
down trees in one swing.
That means that's got to have a terribly crazy taper, because look how thin that edge. And thin it looks towards the edge in that first picture. God damn.
Yeah, okay. I see. I like it.
There's one last thing that I want to look at before we jump off for the night.
Let's get through that quick, and then we can sign off here.
That's it. Go back to your traditionals. Please.
All right.
And as soon as you're there, I'll tell you where to go. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head.
The Bach. Weird little knife.
The Salyani. 6th one in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It looks
Right
like a
above the Angola.
snake with the funky, little
Yeah,
something,
the
something.
carving they did in the spine or in the fuller.
You can
Okay.
get this in an 18-inch version. That's good. I like it.
Just in case.
Oh, that is for delimbing.
People.
I didn't say trees.
Yeah, that's fair. You sure didn't. They actually described this one as being lighter and faster, more nimble for fighting, I'm pretty sure the description was saying.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. If you scroll down on them, and I don't know if they all have it, but this one here tells you 5 millimeters of the spine at
Yeah,
the
I saw
bolster,
that.
5.5 at the handle, 5 millimeters from, point of balance, blah, blah, blah.
They tell
Wow,
you,
okay.
they tell you the point of balance. That's pretty fucking cool, actually.
They describe the rubbed leather as being Saliani like this. So I think the last picture of the sheath is what the rubbed leather would look like.
The traditional,
Oh.
like Nepalese type of style.
They just
Yeah.
mean like lightly distressed. Okay,
And
that's not
Western Western leather is more of like a pancake stitched style type of,
Yeah, but they have traditional dap, and then they have hand rubbed dap, or
Mhm.
Saliani dap,
Mhm.
is what they called it. And I love the word dap, and I don't know exactly what it means other than sheath, I guess. But I like these traditional ones with the actual frog, so you can just pull the knife and the sheath off your belt without removing the belt loop.
Yeah, that's pretty slick.
Yep.
Pretty gosh dang slick.
Yeah, it's fancy.
My problem is, which one do I go with?
Yeah, that's kind of where I think I'm gonna have to do a little bit of searching here because I already have, I think, a top 5, but gotta narrow it down from there.
It's between two, I think. Quite honestly,
Which
I
two
think
are
it's
you?
the pensioner and the Angola.
Ooh,
Especially the Angola, because you can get it in a 13-inch blade, and I think I would prefer that over the 11 standard.
see, I don't know.
See, the one that got my attention right off the bat is in the moderns, the Burra, the small blade on the bottom. Look at the price point, goddamn.
The Burra? Yeah.
Right
Yep.
down at the bottom left, it's
Yeah.
the skinning knife. Like
That-
it starts at $35. Like
That would be worth picking up for sure.
That's pretty sick.
You know what? I think regardless. So the most expensive it could get would be $98. I like the way that they set up their pricing on their website. That is pretty freaking sweet.
Yep. They tell you what it costs and how much you paid for the options you picked. It's pretty sick.
That's cool.
And that thing's like EDC sized. I would happily
Yeah.
carry that.
it's a little big, but yeah.
But it's more the handle than it is. Actually, in this picture, it doesn't look too terribly large, but in the last picture where he's holding it kind of reversed,
Yeah.
it's a
This-
little bit larger.
This is a little bit more flat on, honestly. Where he's kind of got his hand there. That doesn't look bad. That looks really usable. And again, lately I've been kind of interested in more broad blades, so this is
Like literally, I just did one with Indian rosewood just to see the $44, and that's with brass on the fittings, just because I'm a sucker.
I couldn't decide if I wanted brass or copper.
honestly,
steel.
I'd probably go,
honestly,
I would go with brass over copper for sure. But
and steel is a baseline price point, and then you're back down to $35 with a rosewood handle. And like Jesus, I'll tack one of these on for sure. At
Yeah.
the very least.
yeah, one of
Oh,
these
what-
is, I'll probably order one of these regardless as to like what else I get. Shit. Maybe we should do a review on
cool
these
score,
after. Yeah. Yeah, Paul. Good job. I was gonna say, if we do end up doing an order for these guys, we should do maybe like a midterm, long-term review of these things and see how they hold up.
Hell yeah. Go take some trees apart with our Kukris.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, man, that bush cleaver though, Jesus fuck.
Yeah. I saw it. There's several expensive ones that I'm gonna try to talk myself out of, but
Yeah.
Well, like even the pensioner, the standard price is $144. Like it's not crazy.
No, that's pretty reasonable given the materials and it. If
And
the
that's with the
photos,
rosewood as a start.
if the photos are to be believed as like the standard how they should look, the fit and finish looks really, really, really good for the price point.
And he was sent a sample, so you've got to take that with a grain of salt as to the fit and finish. But he was absolutely raving about the fit and finish, specifically around the ring, that central ring that kind of locks you into the grip.
Yeah.
About how crisp that was. Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Totally wicked, dude.
All right.
Totally wicked, dude.
I approve of this last topic of the
Cheers.
evening.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
On that note, go follow us on Instagram.
I thought you were going to say something else. Go. Yeah.
That's made it dark.
Uh,
We're trying something new this week.
yep.
Yeah, Instagram. It's getting there. Also, YouTube, like, subscribe, all the videos. Good times. Share them around.
Yeah. You should share this one about the Kukris with as many people as exist.
Yeah.
Kalash Blades. We'll work on
Share
getting
it with
some.
everybody.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you'd like to see these reviewed, and if you have any particular suggestions on the models you'd like to see reviewed, because apparently I'm open to suggestions. I like a lot of their catalog.
You can totally influence Joe here. I'm going to take a look through it. I'm going to buy what I want, and you guys can say shit about it. But Joe, on the other hand, yeah, we'll shove him in the right direction if we need to.
Oh yeah.
See, Ben's got the right idea. Tell everyone to go fuck off, and then ask them to follow.
Yeah.
Don't forget, follow us. Yeah. To get some behind the scenes fucking off. Yeah. So
Fuck off. And before you do, go like, subscribe, and follow. Yeah. Shit.
as always, thank the guys on Patreon. There's not very many, but we do appreciate your funding. It's just helping us get some cool stuff for you. Yeah. Christmas miracle. I'm telling you, it's going to be a Christmas miracle. So
That would be neat.
That'd be pretty wicked.
Just call me Burra.
no, I'm not going to do that like ever.
What are you going to do, Dennis?
I'm going to go eat some steak after this. That's what
Me
I'm going
too.
to do. Yeah. Steak buddies.
Yeah, steak. I got some mushrooms, some asparagus.
Nice.
Good times. Good times. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us. Ben, I hope you're liking the Adamas. Yeah. For sure.
So I was
Go
going
ahead,
to
Paul.
say, if anybody orders anything from them, let us know what you ordered because I would love to hear about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. On that note, guys, I think we're out of here. Thanks for everything. I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I'm Baron Joe.
And I'm xl.ca.
Thanks once again, guys. See you next week.
Cheers.
I'm looking at this Deuce knockoff. It's a good looking knife. Wow. Jesus. I'd chop the shit out. You can make the grinds heavy duty, which I'm hoping means convex, so I can like chop shit seriously with these
It
things.
comes like their standard is an apple seed grind.
I think it looks better.
There's
than
no
the
secondary
Deuce.
bevel on. There shouldn't be, anyways. At least on
Because
the
that bird is going to be performance to hell on that one. The performance grind all the way. Yeah.
he was able to run his fingers up and down the edge without cutting himself and still cleanly cut nicer than swords that have been sharpened specifically for cutting.
And